It doesn't necessarily have to be a big amusement park like Disneyland is to me, but you can, when you're having a terrible time in your life or even having a great time, you can then choose, like I said, to surround yourself with people that you get to share that with. And so when you're having that time that's necessarily not the best or you're most excited about, we all now have those magical things in our pockets that carry all of those memories with us that you can just bring them up and relive them. And so I think time travel was a really cool theme because I think we all are time travelers and we all have the opportunity to, throughout your life, take that moment to just really look back and really experience everything over again. And it can really give you a brand new perspective on what you're experiencing at that moment in time. And then you can move on and have just whatever life you get to create. And so that's my story for you. I don't want it anymore. I don't know what to do with it.
I got it. One more time for Shawn. I think of the last time we went to Disneyland together, and we were there with our friend Jackie. You guys know her as Tony, if you've ever heard her tell a story here. But she was just like, hey, let's go ride the Matterhorn. And I was just like, that's a brilliant idea. And Shawn goes, well, you guys do that. I'm going to go back to the car. And we're like, why? And he's just like, I'll see you later. And he comes back, and I'm getting off the Matterhorn, and I'm limping, like just dying. And he walks up with a cane, and he goes, I figured you'd want this. And I was like, holy shit, thank you. Nearly broke my knee again on the fucking Matterhorn. Time machines.
Next week's theme.
It is Escape Route. We looked that up in between Storytellers so that I could answer that question when you yelled it at me. Escape Route is their theme next week. Come back, tell a story about escape routes and escaping from things. Maybe it's Disneyland. Who knows? But this next storyteller has a big place in all of our hearts. It's the reason why we are all here, is the storyteller of storytellers. The one person who's created this entire safe space for all of us to share our truth. Please help me welcome our fearless leader, Jessie.
I feel like I got to prep you on my story before you hype me up, because I'm just going to tell you guys about getting drunk. Yeah, chatter wasted. So I feel like everyone's got really great time stories, like memories and like things with my friends and like family. And I'm like, great, awesome. Time traveling to me, I drank a lot in college, guys. I just did it. I think a lot of people do it, and that's okay. You can do that thing. I don't drink a lot anymore. I'm not like very strict on my sobriety, but like I just don't. Like it's just not, I like coffee a lot. I have a caffeine addiction probably. And so I just don't drink a lot of alcohol anymore. But I think back on like the stupid shit I used to do in college, just getting too shit-faced. So time traveling for me, this story I think really, it's all of it in one thing. So when I was a sophomore. No, I was a freshman. I lied. I was a freshman in college. I was very sheltered. I was raised Catholic. I went to college, very naive. I wanted to go to college away from my parents, so I to make all the mistakes by myself without them there to witness them, because that's how I learn. And I decided two hours away is a good enough buffer for me to fuck up, and it was. And I had a lot of friends that I met, and they were like, oh, yeah, like, you go to this party with us. It'll be fun. So I went to a lot of weird parties. I wasn't, like, a crazy, like, party person. I didn't join a sorority or anything like that. I just wanted to, like, meet people and have a good time, just, like, kind of experience different things, stuff I had never done before. And I was like, I'm just going to throw myself into all these situations, and we'll see what one pans out. Not a lot of them, let me tell you. But I said yes to a lot of things, which was really fun, and I think gave me a lot of like good experiences, but also a lot of questionable experiences, which is fair. You get like a 50-50 split there when you're doing shit. And so I got invited to a party, and of course, like I don't know if you've been to like college theme parties, but like where they are like, oh, you got to dress up for this, or like there's a certain thing you got to wear, bring, or whatever, like weird. I don't know who thinks these up. I think it's just a bunch of like people that are in sororities and fraternities. No offense, baristas at Fairtrade Cafe, who are in sororities. But I think they just think of these party ideas and they're like, what would be the funnest, weirdest shit that we could get people to wear to come to this party? And I know that that's what they're thinking. Like if you've ever heard of an ABC party, anything but clothes, ridiculous. Just people showing up wearing like beer boxes, caution tape, questionable shit, questionable outfits. I won't tell you what I wore because that's really questionable. That's a different story for another day. But just like these theme parties, okay? So I got invited to a theme party in my freshman year. My friends are like, let's go. It's going to be so fun. And like, we're going to have a great time. Like the people there are going to be really great. And I'm like, cool. Like some of my friends knew some of the people that were going to be there already that were hosting the party. So I was like, perfect. It was at the sorority fraternity dorm on NAU campus. I forget the name of it because I just tried to block that whole 4 years. Mountain View. Hey, tried to block it out, Alexis. But it's a big sorority fraternity house, and it's like a huge dorm for like a bajillion people. It's got like multiple wings. It's very confusing looking. And it's a little further away from campus, but you could walk there from like where we lived on campus. And the theme, it was a black light party or a highlighter party. So you show up wearing a white shirt, maybe white pants, depending on what your situation is as far as attire you feel like purchasing as a broke-ass college student. And you show up with highlighters, like the markers that you use, highlighters, and you write all over each other, and there's black lights in the room where you're partying, which hopefully isn't a gross boys' dorm, because you know what I'm saying there. And you write all over each other. You write highlighters all over each other because it glows. Like fun, man. Like, oh, it's so fun. Like the fucking shit you think of when you are poor in college. I don't know. You write all over each other with highlighters. What you write on each other, I'll tell you shortly. So we go to this party. We show up. I got our white shirts. We're looking fresh. We got a pack of white men's shirts at Walmart. It was really cheap. Went to this party. We show up, there's a ton of people. It's like in a couple of rooms in the fraternity, one of the fraternity wings. And they're all painted different, and they're all really fucking proud of their fraternity. And like they do their little chant, which is really culty. And I'm sorry if you're in a fraternity or a sorority, I apologize. It's a little creepy. I'm not wrong. And we go, and it's like a couple rooms, and they have the rooms that are like connected by a bathroom. So it's like a couple of those, like where you can party, and like 3 or 4 of them have the black lights, and there's a couple that don't, and like everyone's being crazy and like doing drugs and like drinking, and we're having a fun time, and we're dancing in this one room, and someone comes in the room, and it's a pretty crowded dorm room, and someone comes in the room, and they're like, slap the bag. And I was like, what the fuck does slap the bag mean? So slap the bag, you know that boxed wine, that shitty Franzia boxed wine that you buy? It's like, I don't know, $10. It's disgusting. It's like just a box of wine. If you open the box and you take it out, it's a bag of wine with with a little spout on it, with a little, like, you push a button and the wine comes out. And so slap the bag happened at a lot more college parties, but this was my first one where I really experienced slap the bag. And they pass around this bag of wine, and they had a couple, so it was a really great time. They pass around this bag of wine, and everyone just like pours it in each other's mouths. It's so obnoxious and like the dumbest. I think back on it now, I'm like, why did we drink such like shitty barefoot wine? Sorry if you like that. Like just like the worst, cheapest, like plastic bottle vodka, like just bad, trash, horrible things. And I'm not saying I've got better taste now, but like then it was just like bottom level. Like, I've got $3 and some change. What can I get? Here's some Boone's Farm. Like, what are we going to do now? And so slap the bag. There was a couple bags going around, and one of my friends was like, how much can you drink out of that bag? Because she had one too. And I was like, all right, let's play. And I could drink a lot of alcohol back in the day. I'm not proud. I'm a little proud. And so I think there was like half left in each of them, and that's, I don't know, like a bottle and a half of wine. Who knows? I finished a good chunk of mine. And so at this time, I'm feeling really great, feeling super good in the night, covered in highlighter stuff. Don't remember what all of it says. A lot of it is dicks. I will just tell you that. A lot of it is penises. I don't know what the fuck. College students in general, still adults. I don't know. Why? Why do we just want to draw male genitalia all over the place? It's a fun shape to draw. I don't know. I need... Why are you doing like super bad? Like you have a dick drawing problem? I need to understand. So we're having a good time. And then I just remember very distinctly that that's the last thing I remember at this part of the evening was after we slapped the bag. And time travel, I woke up the next morning in a strange place. So in Mountain View, it's a pretty nice, it was a nice dorm, at least when I was going to school there, which was 100 years ago. They had study rooms, and they had bigger ones where you could meet with like a group of people that had kind of like couches, like lounge style and tables and stuff like that. They also had the small ones, which was basically like a little just like prison cubby with like one desk and a chair if you were like really needed to get your shit together and study for a test at 2 a.m. But I woke up because there was sun coming into this room I was in, and I'm in a study lounge, like a big one, and I'm in there by myself, like, just woke up, and I'm like, where am I? And I have never seen this study lounge before, but it's a study lounge, so it's very obvious. And I wake up, and I, like, check, like, I've got my phone, got my ID card, got my keys, I'm fully clothed, great, everything's great, I have my shoes on, like, even better, like I didn't lose anything, perfect. And I don't remember, like I literally, and I tried really hard, I'm like, remember what happened, remember how you got, nope, tried, it's just deleted from my brain, like that fucking shitty wine, just boop, deleted it. And I'm like, okay, well now I gotta go home. And it's pretty early, like, I don't know, like 7-ish, early for a college student. And I get up and I'm leaving the room. I locked myself in the room, guys. Hella smart for a single lady in college. Just locked myself in there, safe. I feel like, way to go, drunk Jessie. Just securing your situation. Respect. And so I leave, and I'm trying to get out of this giant dorm room, which took way longer than it should because it's fucking huge and like so unnecessarily confusing. Finally leave, and I'm walking back to my dorm, and I get to this intersection, and someone honks at me. This car that drives by just honked at me, and then there's like these guys in the car, and they're like, oh man, yelled at me. I don't even know what they said. And I just realized, oh, I have penises drawn all over me in colored highlighter, and there's stuff written on my shirt, like boobs written across my boobs. Like, I don't know why you need to label it. We already know what's going on there. I don't know. Just a bunch of random shit, like just ridiculous, okay? And I'm covered. Like my arms, thank God I was wearing pants, but like my whole shirt, my arms, like back and front of my arms, thankfully nothing on the neck, head area. So we made it out all right. But I'm at this intersection. I got to cross the street, but I got to wait for some cars to cross. And I look across the way, and there's a coffee shop across the way, and I saw someone like leaving the coffee shop, and it was a professor of mine. And I was like, motherfucker. Thankfully, didn't have that class that day, so that was quality. But the professor's leaving, and they're standing on the other side, like diagonally from me. So we're not even like close, but like we're close enough that like she could see like what was going on with the penises all over me. And she was like, oh, you had a good night. And just like made eye contact, and we didn't say anything. And I didn't break her stare because I was like, if I look away, it means I'm ashamed. And I'm not. I was so ashamed. So I was like, don't break eye contact. And then she just like, she looks at me for a little while longer, and she just nods. Like she understood. Like she was like, I understand. I've seen a lot of this in my 1,000 years of teaching college. And so I finally get home. It took way too long to scrub off highlighter. You'd think it'd be like, not like permanent markers. It's like permanent markers, guys. It takes a long time to get highlighter off your body. And then you can see like the faint yellowing of your skin, like a bruise almost, but like it's just a dick on your arm. And it took a couple of days, I'm not going to lie, for that to like completely go away. But I can't, like most times I've like blacked out like that, I can regain the memory of what happened. This time, no. And my friends couldn't even help me with that one. And I was like, well, at least I was safe. Thanks, guys. All right. So that is the end of our show. Before we go tonight, guys, I just want you to put your hands together for Fair Trade Cafe. Yeah.